Hi there, you're on IGCSE Maths Tutors, and in today's video we're going to discuss number bounds. The question says x equals 3 correct to one significant figure, y equals 8.37 correct to 3 significant figures, and z equals 5.3 correct to one decimal place. Calculate the upper bound of x multiplied by y minus z. Before proceeding further with this question, I'd like to remind you that we had previously done a video tackling number bounds. I recommend that you watch this video. Its link appears on the screen now. If you don't want to watch the video, I'll just make a quick flashback and we'll watch the most relevant part of that video, and then we'll come back to solve our question. Now, what is also the lower bound? Though by the lower bound we mean the smallest value that rounds up to equal a given number. So for instance, if we have number 2, is 1.4 the lower bound for it? It's not, because we cannot round it up to become 2, because 4 is not equal to or greater than 5. In contrast to this, 1.5 is actually the lower bound for 2 because it's the least value that can be rounded up to 2. Now finally, we need to clarify what do we mean by an upper bound. The upper bound is defined as the smallest value that rounds up to the next number. So if you want to get the upper bound for 2, we have to find the least number that can be rounded up to the next number. The next number after 2 is 3. So what is the smallest number that can be rounded up to 3? Can 2.4 be rounded up to 3? It cannot. In contrast, 2.5 can be rounded up to 3, and hence 2.5 is the upper bound for number 2. After having watched the definition of number bounds on our previous video, we can now easily calculate the upper and lower bounds of x, y, and z. Now for x, the upper bound, which is defined as the minimum value that would give us the next number, and in this case it's 3.5, because 3.5 is the minimum value which can be rounded up to 4, and the lower bound, which is defined as the minimum value that would retain the given number, which is in this case 3, it is 2.5, because if you go below 2.5 we will not be able to round up to 3. For y, the upper bound is 8.375, because that is the minimum value that would round up the 7 to 8, and the lower bound is 8.365, because this is the minimum value that would allow us to round up the 6 to 7, that is to retain the 7 as it is. And finally for z, the upper bound is 5.35 and the lower bound is 5.25. Now to get the upper bound of the expression x multiplied by y minus z, we need to get the maximum value for x, the maximum value for y, and the minimum value for z, because this is subtracted from the expression. Therefore, the upper bound for the expression x multiplied by y minus z entails that we get the upper bound for x and y and the lower bound for z. If we copy these values from the table that we have just made over here, we will have for x 3.5, which is the upper bound for x, multiplied by 8.375, which is again the upper bound for y, minus the lower bound for z, which is 5.25. If you work this out on your calculator, you will end up with 10.9375, and this is the right answer. I hope you have found the solution to this question useful and that it has reinforced your understanding of number bounds. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you still have questions, please do leave them in the comments section below, and as usual, I will see you again in the next video. Goodbye for now.